A very cool intro riff to learn is Soul Shine by Warren Haynes. It's going to sound something like this, and on different versions he does it differently as well. So this is going to be my rendition. It's going to sound hopefully okay. Now let's take you step by step through that. I'm going to show you some slides, some string bends, some techniques to get the string bends working for you. And please make sure you've got your PDF that I sent along with you in front of you, either printed out or on your screen so you can keep track of the tabs. And your first phrase, the one that's going to sound something like this. Now you'll notice over there that you heard a click track going ping, tuck, tuck, and then I started playing before the band joined. So basically your phrase that leads into the, and on that note there, that last note that I accented is where the band starts. One more time, you can do it nice and accurately. Now the tab itself, let's just break it down. It's starting at fret 10 on the 5th string, finger 3. I like doing a slide to the fret 10. Now it's a very subtle, quick slide, and it just sort of introduces the phrase a lot more smoother. And if they don't indicate where to slide from, in other words, should I slide from fret 7 or fret 8 or fret 9, your target fret is obviously the important one, being number 10 in this case. And I always, as a sort of a guideline rule for myself, I always do a 2 fret slide if it doesn't tell me. Okay. From there you're going to go to the 4th string, double 8, back to the same 10, and then you'll notice the 10 underneath it is slightly smaller. The font slide, or the font size rather, with the slide going to the 12. The 10 is smaller, and that means a quick slide. So you don't play the first 12. The first 12 is a result of the slide. There's the 10. Slide to the 12. That's the first 12. And there's the second 12. So slow motion, bit of view. Next phrase. It's going to go. Now you'll notice it says there slight bend. So basically that slight bend is on the 12, but you first got this 12, that 10, and then back to the 12, and the next 12, that 12 where it says slight bend, it's just a bit of a semitone sort of bend. That sort of vibe. You can see semitone means 1 fret. Same notes, just with a slide instead of the bend. And after that, onto the double 10. Now what I want to suggest is when you're learning the song as well, work it step by step, go back to the backtrack, and then build it as you go along. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the intro again, and I'm going to play it to include up until the double 10. In other words, you're going to hear this. And with the backtrack, you got this. We got that. Next up, you're going to have a 12 bend and release, which is going to take you from the 12 onto the 10, pull off to the 10, and then a slide back to the 8, and then double 8 after that. Now, different versions depending which one you've heard. The following phrase can be a bit tricky. One where it goes 10, 8, 10, 8, 8. I've sort of simplified it because that will work quite well. And then if you put a bit extra inside there, or if you change the timing a little bit, by all means do so. The nice thing with country, with blues, with this style of playing, is that a lot of the phrases are open to your own interpretation. This particular version by Warren Haynes live is just one of my personal favorites. Obviously you're allowed to have your own favorites as well. But I found this one really, really cool. And I'm going to play the whole top line now for you so you can hear everything I've put together. Are we ready? 4 click. If you want to join on, you're welcome. Then it goes an octave higher. Now about that octave higher, trying to talk and play at the same time doesn't always work that well. So if the phrase that I said didn't sound clear, I was trying to say second line an octave higher. You can see it's got a 12 sliding into the second line, onto the 11 on the second string, back to the 12. So it's basically a similar phrasing as what you did for the beginning. And then for the 13's double bend. Now my ring finger is in number 13, and when I say double bend, it means you go. So it's one bend, silence it, and then the second bend. Now to get the strength, you'll notice over here that I'm using fingers 1, 2, and 3, because if I bend with only my third finger, that could happen. And let's face it, that isn't what you want to happen if you're playing at a gig. So to get the strength, to get the security, the confidence, the note to ring, always bend with the third finger or second finger, but let fingers 1 and 2 support the finger and don't bend with the pinky. Very important. I'll explain now. Don't bend with the pinky. So let's go. Your next phrase. And then vibrato. You'll notice that Warren Haynes likes using vibrato as well. So don't hold back on the vibrato. And that's why we need that strength of fingers 1, 2 supporting finger 3. You can see my hand shaking there. It's not lack of coffee, I promise. Okay. Now, I'm going to go through one more time from the beginning, and then we're going to go into this phrase here, and you can hear how the octave kicks in as it goes to the second line. Here we go. Back to the lower notes. And the octave. Now, we mentioned that we don't want to use the pinky. Now, it's not relevant for this song, but later there's a technique which you can use for a lot of improvisation. It's called double stop, and the pinky kicks into the string underneath it. Check this. And you can check the pinky coming in there. There we go. So it's nice to keep the pinky open for those applications later. Now, what I want you to do, this is your homework, okay? Yeah, you're getting homework, deal with it, all the bridge, get over it. Okay, I want you to go and listen to Warren Haynes doing it. I did attach also the link to my favorite version of him doing Soulshine. I want you to listen to his timing and to try and make your own version of it. So the tabs underneath, you might find that it needs an extra 15 there, or maybe another extra 11, or something like that you think sounds better, okay? Especially with the end part where it's the bend and hold on the 13 goes. Things like that. You might decide to phrase it a little bit differently, but I want to hear your interpretation of it. So your goal is, with the backtrack that I've sent you, there's an audio backtrack as well in this parcel, as well as listening to the original, I want to get back from your video with the guitar sort of positioned the same as this. I want to see your frets, I want to see your guitar, I want to see your left and right hand. And send me a track of you jamming this the whole way through. I'd love to hear how you're going to play it. Now, there might be another video coming shortly as well, which is going to have the chords and everything. This video number 1 is simply going to be for the intro tune. So you got the basics, you got the bends, you got the slides, you got the idea, you're into improvising. I'm looking for you to create your own interpretation of Soulshine. Read the words as well. Really, really good words. Very, very important. Life lesson words. Okay. Not going to get too deep. Have a good week. Looking forward to hearing from you. Don't forget your homework. Take care. Bye.